Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel, and this is my match preview, thoughts, prediction, team news, some stats and facts on the FA Cup 5th round tie between Wolverhampton Wanderers at Bristol City at Ashton Gate, and it's live also on BT Sports at 1 p.m. First off, before I get onto the game, well done to Wolves on dealing very swiftly with the unfortunate incident with racist abuse at the last game. I think it was only one person that was doing it, but Wolves have reacted very swiftly, and also the people around them reported it, so well done to you guys. There is no place in modern society or at Molineux or any football stadium for that, so if you do see things like that, make sure you call it out, because we want it eradicated. Wolverhampton's a multicultural city with fans of all ethnicities, and that's what we want for Wolves. Everyone is welcome regardless of their race, creed, colour or sexuality. On to the game itself. So in team news, obviously, in those of us that were there will remember Andreas Weimann scoring a goal against Liverpool away when we were a Championship club, and he now plays for Bristol City. He is a doubt for them, so it's something to do with his back. Whether he's in or not, I'm not sure, but they have no other injury worries at all. Wolves, on the other hand, there's a possible doubt over Diogo Jota, but other than that, I think we're full strength. Now, just actually on the game itself, Bristol City are on an incredible run at the moment. They have won their last 9 games in all competitions in a row. They've surged up the Championship table. They're now sitting 5th. Very strong for a playoff position. If they continue the form, who knows, they might even challenge for an automatic position. They are very confident. Make no mistakes, this is going to be an incredibly difficult game for Wolves, and we have to be right on it. If we have if we play like we did against Shrewsbury on both games, although we controlled the game to an extent, we were a bit misjointed, we're probably going to end up getting beat, and you know, we don't want that. Wolves have got what an opportunity that Wolves have got. If we can get through Bristol City and win this game, we're into the quarterfinals. We could get a home draw, and then if we get through that, Wembley and then the final, it's a great opportunity the way it's shaping up. And in my view is we have got to go with our strongest possible team in this match. If we get beat playing our strongest possible team, we can go, fair enough, well done Bristol City, we played our strongest team and on the day you beat us. If we play a watered down team and we lose, we're always going to be thinking, what if we'd have played the strongest team? So I'll come on to my thoughts on the team later on, and I obviously want you to leave your thoughts about whether we should go strong or make a lot of changes. I know my view, but let's look at the head-to-head stats between the two sides. So Bristol City have actually just won 2 of their last 18 meetings with Wolves, so we do have a great record against Bristol City in all competitions. They've drawn 4 and lost 12. Wolves and Bristol City's only previous FA Cup meeting was back in the 4th round in 1972-73, and Wolves came through that with a 1-0 victory. And obviously the last match between the two sides, the Battle of Ashton Gate, where Wolves were down to 10 men, came back to 1-1, and then it was like they had a player sent off. Nuno was sent into the stands, and we scored another new night time winner from Ryan Bennett to secure the 3 points. What a game, and Nuno went mad in the stands. So there is a little bit of history. Also, Nuno and Lee Johnson know each other from when they did their badges way back, so they go back a long way, and they've got a lot of respect for each other. They're friends, but obviously rivals on the pitch. So interesting connotations behind the game as well, stuff from last year, the history of the competition between the two sides, and with Bristol City's fine form, and you know, fair play to them. They've really got an opportunity this year of progressing and a real shot at the Premier League, and it just makes me think, would their focus be a little bit more on that? we'll see when I come to the team news. Anyway, as I said, Bristol City have won their last 9 matches in all competitions. They have not lost a home game since November the 10th, 2018. They're looking to reach their first FA Cup quarter-final for the first time since 1973-74 season. And the Robins have actually beaten Premier League opposition 4 out of the last 5 meetings with Premier League opposition in cup competition. Their only loss was to Manchester City, where De Bruyne scored a last-minute goal to win for City 3-2, and that was in January 2018. I think it was a 96-minute winner, actually. Also interesting, Lee Johnson was actually the Oldham manager in the FA Cup tie in 2013-2014 that knocked Wolves out. Both clubs at that time were in League One. So Wolves. Wolves are currently unbeaten in all competitions for 6 games. Obviously, that last-minute Nuno time volley header secured a point, a well-deserved point against Newcastle last time out. And we're also aiming to reach the quarter-final for the first time since the 2002-2003 season. So we're way overdue getting through to this to the quarter-finals, in my opinion. Since then, we've actually got knocked out at the FA Cup 5th round stage twice, and both times we lost to the eventual runners-up. That was Cardiff in 2007-2008, and Chelsea in the 2016-2017 season. Matt Doherty, interesting stat, has been directly involved with each of Wolves' last 4 goals in the FA Cup, scoring 3 and assisting in 1. And this is the first time that Wolves have progressed to the FA Cup 5th round as a top flight club since 1981, and the omens are fairly good with that because we went on to reach the semi-finals that year. So in terms of like the team news, I don't really know about Bristol City. You know, I think it's going to be a loud, full stadium with a big Wolves support that are going to be there. The atmosphere, I think, at Aston Gate is going to be fantastic. The home crowd are going to be confident they can cause a big upset, or maybe not so big upset with the form that they're in, by knocking another Premier League team out in the cup. They have a great record, as I say, at Aston Gate against Premier League teams. So we have to go in there with a lot of respect, a lot of concentration, a lot of focus, and obviously to play our game. So to me, in terms of the team, as I said before, we have got to go, in my opinion, I hope Nuno goes as strong as possible. I think he will. I think most Wolves fans, we know that we're comfortable in 7th at the moment. Even if we drop down a place or 2, we're going to be happy and getting to an FA Cup final and potentially having a chance of getting to Wembley and winning that and finishing a couple of positions down from 7th. I know which one I would take. It's my dream to go to an FA Cup final and sing Abide With Me, watching the Wolves. And although hopefully I've got plenty of time to do that, my dad, as you know, who's on this thing, he's a little bit older, and he's still fit enough to travel to these things, so it'd be fantastic to be able to go to watch that with him as well. So I think he'll stick with Ruddy in goal. I know he made a howler in the last game, and it was a bad one. Rue made a mistake in the game against Newcastle. Keepers make mistakes, but if you remember in the game against Liverpool, Ruddy somehow got a fingernail onto a shot, free kick, and tipped it onto the bar and kept us in the lead. So swings and roundabouts, made one world-class save and one world-class blunder, but I think he'll stick with Ruddy. He generally in cup competitions tends to stick with the same back 3, so I'd expect it to be Cody, Bennett and Bolly, and then Doherty, and he did play Johnny in the last game. However, Ruben Vinagre was injured. He may bring Ruben Vinagre into this game or not. I'd personally like to see him stick with exactly the same back 5. I know Ruben's a great player, but he's also a good option to have coming on later on in the game with fresh legs in that sort of position if we need. So in the middle of the park, I want him to be, I hope he plays Dendoncker, Neves and Moutinho. in the game against Shrewsbury, those three were missing, and we did look very, very disjointed. I know Saïs can probably come and fill in the Dendoncker role potentially, so if there's one change, maybe it'll be there, but I'd like to see the same three because I think they will control the game. They've got the experience in playing in very big matches, under pressure, and I think they'll bring the composure, so I'm hoping he sticks with the same midfield. And then up front, ideally, it would be Jimenez and Jota. Jota, obviously, not trained as much. Potentially, he might be on the bench, and you might see the likes of Cav, Costa or Traore starting that position. Probably more likely Traore, because he started Traore in all the FA Cup matches. But the key to me is got to start with Raul Jimenez. He must. He links up the play. When he's in the team, we just look better. He links up the play, he gets assists, he's good in the air, he's control. We need to be playing. And if we got Jimenez up front, and we've got them three in the middle, I feel very, very confident. Okay, it's 90 minutes plus potential extra time, but we have attacking forwards, quick attacking forwards that we can bring on if we need to, and that's what I'd like to see. Do not put anything to chance. Let's go for it, and if we lose, then fair enough. We played our strongest team, and on the day in a one-off match, anything can happen, and you could play your strongest team and lose. I mean, look at the Liverpool game away from home a few years ago, when it looked like Wolves had played a second string team and Liverpool had gone very strong and we won. This is what can happen in the FA Cup. Newport, look at what they're doing in the FA Cup at home, you know, keep beating teams that you wouldn't think. Shrewsbury nearly knocked us out, West Ham are out, Everton are out. One-off games, these teams raise the game. The only thing I would say that Bristol are on fire at the moment, so they are probably playing already at the top of their game. So because they're playing so well, and they are playing confident, I don't think there'll be any, as I wouldn't expect any Nuno team to go into any game, I don't think there'll be any misgivings, any underestimating, and we know we're in for a game. So what do you think about the team? Do you think we should go as strong as possible or not? In terms of score prediction, I'm going to go with Wolves, and I'm going to go 2-1. And I think that Raul Jimenez is going to score. And I also think maybe Dendoncker, but it's a Mitra ball. And Neves, he loves the Mitra ball. He really does prefer the Mitra ball in the Championship over the current the Premier League ball. So I would suggest that if you get a free kick, a long range opportunity, Neves will be right on the ball for that. So don't be surprised if Neves scores another long range shot, effort, free kick, and we win 2-1. It might go to extra time. I'd really, really love it if we could, you know, win by 2 or 3 clear goals and be nice and comfortable and stress free. But I've got a feeling it could go all the way, and it might even go into added time, in extra time, and then I really hope it doesn't go to penalties, because I don't think my heart could stand that. So I just hope we get through. So my predictions: 2-1, Jimenez, Neves to score, possibly Dendonker's chipping in with a third. What's your score prediction? As always, first goal scorer, score prediction. If you get it right, I'll give you a shout out on the vlog, and also enter the competition on my Instagram as well. As it's an away game, obviously there's limited amount of supporters that can go. I'm going to be there, fortunately, to be able to witness it. But like, where are you going to be watching it from? Are you going to be watching it from your living room with your family and friends? Are you going down the pub, the club? Are you getting on a stream somewhere? Where in the world are you going to be watching it from? And if you're from any of the 5 continents in the world, make sure you leave it. I want to know where you're watching it with, who with, what country, what town, and you know, whether it's at home, in a club, or whatever. And also, if you're around the world, drop me an email as well, because there's something I want to talk to you about that you might want to get involved in. So that's good as well. Mexico, Belgium, Portugal, Spain, USA, Australia, you know, Thailand, wherever you are in the world, get in touch. That'd be fantastic. And I'm really, really hoping we can do this, we can get through, and it's going to be a Wolves victory, and then we can look forward to the draw. Don't forget, there is no replays in this. It's got to be settled on the day. Fingers crossed it'll be Wolves. Respect to Bristol and Bristol City fans. I'm sure you're confident, but as a Wolves fan, you know, we're in the Premier League now. We're comfortable. You know, we want to go to Wembley and an FA Cup final in Bristol City. I really hope that you don't get through in this game, but you have a good shot to get into Wembley, either in the playoffs, in the Championship, or directly. You know, you're a great club, and it'd be brilliant for you to go up, and I wish you all the best, but not on Sunday. Come on, Wolves.